Good morning, Fernando. Good morning. Good morning, Chia. Good morning, Shelton. Good afternoon, Andre. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Good morning, Jill. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, fine. Nice to
Awesome.
hear your voice.
Yours too. Yours too. I missed talking with you all yesterday.
So now we have
Shalom, good morning,
Shalom.
Jill. Good evening,
Good
André,
morning.
Eti, Shelton, Felipe. Shalom to all. Hello.
Shalom, shalom. Nice to see you here, to hear you all here. Good morning, Felipe. Good morning, Shelton.
Hello, shalom, good evening, good morning. Good to be here.
Thanks. Any thoughts or questions that you would like to share, that you would like to share, or ideas that you would like to start with?
Eti, I was uh, I was reading yesterday about Joshua, and something interesting came when reading Vineyard, and related to the aspect of Joshua being the moon and Moshe being the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there is in chapter 10, Joshua chapter 10,
Mm-hmm.
Weiner mentions that the notion of time is it's not linear time, and he mentions when the sun stops. Uh, there is a moment the sun stops in the sky until Joshua and Israel win the battle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking it's interesting because the sun is Moshe in this point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and like Moshe and this aspect of the sun stopped, and Joshua, the aspect of the moon, was moving in in a way. So I thought bringing this this subject to the class for us to discuss it.
Thank you, because yesterday we were starting the conversation following the Zohar session in Brazil, mentioning that the Zohar says that the face of Moses is the face of the sun, Pnei Moshe Kifnei Chama, and the face of Joshua, Pnei Yoshua Kifnei Levana. Levana is another name for the moon. So you see where this concept come from?
Yes, it was. In other session, I just could enter in the session for just a few minutes, but you are discussing precisely these aspects, mentioning relation between Jericho and the moon and Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
who entered in the land by Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it was amazing to think of it. So yes, I heard it.
So the question is, there's another request yet. I didn't understand. Thank you, Anta. I didn't see the request before. Um, maybe your question. I try to read your question from the story. That what does it mean when the sun stops and the moon and Joshua can enter the land? This is the question. What does it mean when the sun stops?
Yes, Eti. This is the
Yes,
question. Thank
yes,
you.
yes. So Moshe, Moses, or the sun, or the recognition, the frontal mind. When I mention the term frontal mind, does it clear? I mean, does this term clear to you? Why do I use this frontal mind as regarding to Moses or to the sun? Because I create now a chain of terms that come together, and you can pick up what is fits your inner picture. Moses, comma, the sun, comma, the frontal mind, the logos, yes, subs, and suddenly what can come forth is the unconscious, as Joshua, the moon. Only when we stop the frontal mind activity, something inner, which is unconceivable in the frontal mind, can come. And this is the secret. The frontal mind is like a computer, a 1 and 0 database, calculates, runs all the possibilities to break the code. But it's like what we mentioned also yesterday. It's like mathematics and sciences, like forms. But here we have, in a way, different aspect. This stops. The sun stops, and something else can come. Does it make any sense?
Eti,
Yes.
if I may, it makes me remember one lecture from Robert Johnson, the Jungian analyst, where he analyzes the hippie movement.
Yes.
And he says that it makes me remember that he says that the hippies are right, but they are in the wrong time, because he says that first you have to build your logos, your ego, and only when you are perfectly ready you can become free. It's not to be the first stage of evolution, this stage of being free for everything. You must first develop the logos, the rational, the frontal mind. You must have the structure, and only then you can go to the unknown.
Yes.
Would be something like this?
Yes. 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 Because the rational is just like the structure, mathematics. It is what we experience every day when we write a message or so. So, in a way, there's operation system. So, it's good that we learn to operate systems and recognize how they work. But only when this is settled, we can retreat. Also, Carl Jung, he had a reputation, he had a career, and then he retreated. It's like the hardware, the sun, and the software.
It is makes me remember then that there is a time that the moon and the sun will be at the same size. I think it is mentioned. I don't know where it is mentioned. I don't know
It
if
is
it
in the
is in.
Zohar. It is in the Zohar.
Yes, yes. But it is not at the first place. The moon shall be at the same size of the sun.
Yes. ואור הלבנה, there is a verse. ואור הלבנה, כאור החמה, and the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times fold. 1 second, I'll bring the verse. This is it. 1 second. This is Isaiah 30:26. Isaiah 30:26. If you have a Slack open, I can put it on class. If you have this open, you could see the verse. Second class, first class. Yeah. Who has it open that can read? Who has Slack open that can read? Isaiah 30.
I have it open.
Yes.
You said Isaiah 30. Can you hear me?
Yes, 26.
Okay, Isaiah 30:26. Moreover, the light of the moon shall be as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun shall be sevenfold, as the light of the 7 days, in the day that the Lord bindeth up the bruise of his people, and healeth the stroke of their wound.
Because why now the light of the moon can be as the light of the sun? Because in the beginning they were created in the same size. But it is not about the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are just symbols for the relation of Adam and the infinite. So they were having the same spiritual height. Now I move again. The sun and the moon were having the same spiritual height. And the moon complain. Now the moon is human. Human complain. This is says the Lord. What? That 2 kings, meaning the sun and the moon, will use 1 crown. We shall share. This was the moon complaint in the Lord, because the wise people, they dress everything in lores and symbols. So God told the moon, since you complain about sharing, go and minimize yourself. So the moon minimized herself, and she, as a comfort, she also, to comfort her being little, she also got the stars. But this is the Lord speaks about us humans. We can look at, yes.
Please
Nando?
continue. After I will make a question.
Please ask.
Just that if we are the child of the moon, let's say, and we complain to be like the sun, I'm wondering here that in the structure of the tree of life, we always think about giving and receiving. Like the higher the God is the one who always gives infinite love and mercy, right? It could be represents could represent the sun that always giving light and heat. And maybe we diminished the moon to learn how to give, to learn how to be like the sun. And in the end of times, we maybe could give more, you know. Because what I am thinking is that before the creation, we did not have the opportunity to give because everything was already given for the high, from the higher. So I'm just wondering if this diminished of the moon represents this our diminished to be able to learn how to give or something like this. I don't know.
Yes, yes, yes. The minimizing or the diminishing is to teach us to grow, but as sovereigns, like balanced people, not as people who would like to take over of everything, like a consuming fire, but balance. Yes, yes. There is a question on YouTube. Anna asks, my brother David died last week of COVID. Can you speak about the meaning of the word David, please? Yes, Anna. Thank you. Thank you. The meaning of the name David. Who would like to answer, to start answering Anna's question? She wants to communicate to her brother. Who would like to answer Anna? She's on YouTube. Her brother David died from COVID. Who would like to speak about the name David? Fernando, Felipe?
Okay, I can start it.
Yes, please.
It's a beautiful name. The name David. It's with 3 letters. It's Dalet, Vav, and Dalet. And we can see that we have a structure here, right? Because David, it's composed of the numbers 4, 6, and 4. And it gives us the sum of 14, right? And 14 is an expression of the human being because it's equal to Aleph and Dalet 1 to 4. That is the structure of creation. You can start from here. The other possibility is to look that the letter Dalet represents the door. Dalet also means door. So we have 2 doors here. We have one door in the beginning of the name, and we have other door in the final of the name. So David, is this why David will bring the Messiah? Because he is the door that receives all the tradition from the patriarchs, and it's the door who connects with the Vav, what the Olam Haba, the world to come, what will be in the future. This just some ideas that to you. I don't know if it make any sense, but it's what came to my mind.
Thank you so much. Felipe? Felipe, would you like to share? Feel that you would like to share. It's an option. Also, the name David is, which is written in 3 letters, Daled, Vav, Daled. We can read also as Dod, uncle, and God or the Infinite is like an uncle for us, meaning unlike the relations between parents and children, which are, I would say, very direct. The relation of an uncle to a child is an argument, like we see the structure of the triangle. This is one option. Another option is that the tetragrammaton, hides in the name David, and the name David is manifested in each and every one of us, because, as Fernando mentioned, it's a relation of 1 to 4, and every human has hands, 2 hands, and the relations between the thumb and 4 fingers is 1 to 4. And the name David